So this is a recipe for the Asian style meatball, my own very recipe. So with that, I've got some plant-based meatballs here from Sainsbury's. They're just called plant-based. I don't want to put the packaging. There we go. They taste quite good actually. My sister couldn't tell the difference between me and these. With the corn variety she could. With that, I'm going to be making the sauce from tomatoes, onions, a little bit of peppers, green chilies, garlic, coriander. The spices I'm going to use is going to be not much, just a hint of it. You have cumin seeds, dried chilies, jangi mirch, which is less heat but more colour. I've got the heat coming from the green chilies, garam masala, cumin, coriander powder, dhania they call it, haldi powder, turmeric, salt, methi, which is fenugreek leaves. With that, so these are the ingredients. As you can see, all fresh. Okay, so as you can see, I'm frying a small amount of ghee. It's not that much. I think it's only 1 tablespoon. I think. I'm just gonna let the heat up, and on that I'm gonna fry the cumin seeds, garlic, onions, and tomatoes, peppers. Basically all these except the chili and the coriander. All these are gonna be fried in the ghee. Yes, so I've combined the onions, the peppers, the tomatoes, the garlic, and the cumin seeds. I'm just gonna let those cook away until they go soft and translucent. It'll take about 15 minutes probably for that to brown up properly, and then I'll add the spices, meatballs. Yeah, as you can see, it's slowly starting to soften up a bit. So give it a little mix. I'm just gonna put the lid on and let it simmer away till the oil starts separating. Yeah, this is the meatball variety that I'm using. Plant Pioneers, grown delicious. I get them from Sainsbury's. In fact, actually they're cheaper than the corn-based ones. They're about £2 each, I think, these, and you get about 20 meatballs in there. Like I was saying before, my sister couldn't tell the difference. She assumed these were real meat. She must have really bad taste palates. I've just added the salt. Yeah, when I mix that in, that will release all the water content as well, and that should start dissolving quite quickly then. That's all the salt is added, and you can see, look, straight away you can see all the water content coming out, and the smell has been released. You can smell the garlic and the onions. It's quite a nice smell, but once I add all the spices in, it will improve a lot. As you can see, the colour is coming along quite nice. It's getting there slowly. A few more minutes. There you go. Yeah, further up, this is almost there. I use the end of the my wooden spoon to mash up, to break down some of the onions and the peppers. And the peppers have skins. I'm finding they're breaking down. It's taking a bit longer for them to break down. So by doing this, it's helping. I'm just gonna add the chilies now, and then start adding all the spices in, because it's almost there. Yeah, added all the spices and everything. As you can see, there it is. I'm gonna give it a good mix, and then I might add a little bit of water. See how it goes. As you can see, I've mixed all the spices in, and all the juices and the fluids all been absorbed by the spices. So I'm going to cover that up and let it cook for a few minutes. Then I'll add warm water to it. by covering up, that should steam up a bit, and I should get a few bits of juices back in there. So the point of correction, I've just added a little bit of olive oil to it, that spoonful, just to get in there, because I'm going to add the meatballs and cook the meatballs in that before I add the water. Otherwise the meatball will not get the flavour that I want. So there you go, the plant-based meatballs are in there. So I'm going to mix that up, and then cover it up, let that cook for a few minutes, and then I'll introduce the water to it. Alright, be quite gentle because the meatballs are quite frail at the moment. See, you can actually fry those meatballs in a little bit of oil before, put a little sear on them, skin on them, then add it to it. I didn't do that, but I've mixed it in gently just by tossing it like this a little bit. It's all in there, so I'm going to cover it. I'm going to keep an eye on it so to make sure it doesn't burn. Going to do that for about a few minutes, and then I'll add the water. Also, I like lemon juice, so at this stage I'm going to add the lemon juice. I forgot about the lemon juice. I just saw the bottle and I realised I haven't added the lemon juice to it. So yeah, lemon juice just brings out the flavour. Bang bang. And you can look. Cooking away. Actually, I've got it in a slow heat as well, so I can control it. I'll give it another mix, and then I'll introduce hot water. I've added 1 cup of hot water to it. As you can see, it's going to simmer away. I gradually add water, small amount, because I don't want it soaking all the meatballs over the top. As you can see, the meatballs still quite a bit out. And I think it's still quite, as you can see, it's going to reduce down quite nice and make into a nice sauce. I don't want the sauce to be really runny. Because I use such a small amount of fat, there's hardly any oil at the moment. Normally it'd be covered in oil. I've just put the heat up a bit. As you can see, the flame's up. I'm just going to quickly reduce that now. The reduction phase to make the sauce a bit thicker. So when I put it on the buns, it's not going to make the buns go that soggy. I'm just going to add the coriander now, garnish it. Final stage. Coriander's going in. Almost there. Bang bang. Yep, that's a coriander all incorporated into the meatball and the sauce. Just going to turn the heat down. Just going to let that reduce by itself while I prep the bread. Okay, so this is the bread I'm going to use to make the sub out of. So, just like a baguette, right? This is called a giraffe baguette, I think. As you can see. Cut it lengthways. Lined it up. So I'm just going to put a little drizzle of olive oil and cheese in that and stick in the oven for about a minute or two. Let it start melting. And then I'm going to add the meatball, further cheese, and then bake it again for a few more minutes like they do in Subway. Here I've prepped the baguettes with a mix of cheddar and mozzarella with a little bit of drizzle of olive oil, a tiny bit, as you can see here. See. I've added a lot of chilies to my one because I like it spicy. So I'm gonna put that into the oven, bake about a few minutes, and then add the meatball and salad to it. Okay, as you can see, I've just toasted them. They're starting to get a bit overdone, so I quickly took them out. So I'm gonna, you can see this part of my oven is a bit hotter than the other part. I don't know why that is, but I'm gonna swap them around and then add the meatballs. As you can see, I've added the meatballs. I think I got 6 into that. Bit more cheese on there. It's not that much cheese to be honest, just flakes. It's not a slice, so it might look a lot, but it's not. So it's going to go back in the oven for the cheese to melt. Okay, as you can see, this is it. I've took it out now because I don't want it to be the bread to be toasted where it's like it breaks apart. It's going to stay a little bit soft. Yeah, it's clear that part of my oven is hot. Okay, so this is it. It's been built. So got a bit of cucumber, rocket, tomatoes, coriander, and a little bit of lettuce. There you go. Okay, there you go. The result. Now the test left.